So yeah, that happened. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you. I have a lot of experience on Berettas, namely the M9 service pistol, as I'm in the Navy, and coming up about 13 years on that. And I've also fired the 92A1 and an M9A1. Those are all the Berettas I've ever fired. A lot of you have been hounding me to shoot the M9A3. Admittedly, I've played with a couple of them at some gun shops, and I really liked how they felt just handling them, to be honest. Although, before shooting it, I didn't know how I'd like the Vertec frame. I just knew it felt different. And it's hard when you have... I don't know how to explain the feel when you have a duty weapon and then you switch to something else that's so similar but different. It's weird, but all the controls were better. So I didn't have that steep of a learning curve, and I really liked the Vertec grip, but it was different. And I do prefer it, don't get me wrong. It was really awesome to shoot. And you'll see that in my gun handling and the shooting footage. You'll see how awesome the gun is recoiling in my hand and how much command I have over it, which was great. But anyways, the real reason I went to the range was to shoot this suppressed, and I wanted to shoot the M9A3. The Rent-A-Range has two 9mm cans, the Omega 9K, which I've taken out before, on a VP9 Tactical, at least 3 outings now, and an AAC Tirant 9mm. So I'd taken the Omega 9K out frequently, and I had a lot of back pressure going on in the VP9 Tactical, and I thought it was the pistol not being a good host, and I had heard some murmurs about that, but I think it's actually the can, because when I shot it on the Beretta, it was terrible. I'm also shooting indoors, and these are Rent-A-Range things, but I'll tell you right now, the suppressor has only been rented so many times. I think I've rented it the majority of the times it's been rented, and each time I put about 150 rounds through it. Also, the M9A3 I rented was very clean because I think I was either the first or second person to rent that gun. They just added it to the rental fleet, and I feel pretty good and confident in the fact that it's a very low round count gun because I know everybody there and I talked to them about it. The whole plan was shoot the Beretta M9A3 to get the experience, because a lot of you have been messaging me and a lot of people have been asking me to do it, and I wanted to shoot it versus this, as well as shoot this suppressed. The whole goal was to run this with the Omega 9K, but for whatever reason, I started with the Tirant 9mm, which was the best decision I ever made. So a lot of people have been telling me not to go the AAC route, and to be honest with you, I know 100% exactly what rifle cans I'm buying. The Surefire RC2, the Mini 7.62, and I'm going to get some Knights cans for the Knights guns. Just because switching everything out and then getting the RC2 and all that would equal the same price. It's a long story. We'll get to that in another video. But as far as pistol cans go, I don't really know which ones I'm going with. I'm still learning. And I do a lot of online research, but shooting it in person is the best way to do that. So I wanted to run the Tirant and the 9K because, again, I was going to run this with the 9K and the Surefire X300, and it was going to be a cool little package. And I really like the size of the 9K, but every time I shoot an AAC can, it performs so well and the tone is so good. And shooting it on the Beretta was a wonderful experience. Now, we're using the same weak sauce 147 ammo, so don't think that I'm living my best life with recoil management in this video, but also I put it through both pistols. I put 100 rounds of the 147 through both this and the Beretta just to see how they shot. This shot great, and the Beretta was a dream to shoot. I cannot believe how good that gun is. With the Tirant, it was a wonderful experience. I could shoot that setup all day. Yeah, there was a little gas because we were indoors, but I didn't get any debris. I didn't get any like flakes of anything hitting me in the face. It was just gas, and I shot it very confidently. So I put 50 rounds through the gun, took the can off, tried to put it on this, and I think that this has the same threads but opposite pitch because the can wouldn't go on this gun. So either my barrel's jacked up, which I doubt because there's no marks on it, or the piston wasn't right for this particular setup, which I think was the case. So I took the can off, tried to put it on this, didn't work, so I shot the Beretta without the can, and it shot very, very well. Super awesome trigger. Very, very pleased with that trigger, to be honest with you. And the recoil impulse was so nice. It's just a really nice shooting gun. I'm blown away with this Beretta. Then I went and got the Omega 9K, and that's where I made my decision that I'm not buying that can. So again, shooting indoors is a lot different than shooting outdoors. You can have a nice breeze that blows the gas away, and it's a lot easier because both the gas and the sound have somewhere to go, whereas indoors, not so much. Now I'm going to tell you, and I took a picture of the 9K on the Beretta when I was done shooting because it looks sweet. And when I'm shooting it in the video, it looks like it's a better experience, but there was more back pressure. The cycle of operations was a little harsher, and I was getting peppered every single shot. So it wasn't just gas, there were flakes of stuff, and I had it all over my face and my hands and my arms. It was a very unpleasant experience. I also didn't finish a magazine. And again, I've shot this can on a VP9 Tactical before. So it's not like I don't have any experience with this can. It's just, I think I think it's possible that the increased barrel length added to the pressure, which blew more stuff back. And I experienced stuff that I did not experience with the Tirant. And the Tirant was a more rented can, and I know you can maintenance them, but it was almost certainly more dirty than the 9K. But the 9K is a sealed can, which you can't maintenance. So I don't know how many rounds were between the two, but I'm positive that the AAC was dirty. All in all, this was a very important experience for me, and I think it's helped me make a decision. I'm going to get the 45M and 9M for my pistol cans. I'll have the modularity to adjust it to a shorter configuration. I know the AACs work. I've never had a bad day with an AAC, and overall the shooting experience and the tone were very, very nice. So the can debate is over, and now I have to shuffle my gun list around because I don't do update videos anymore, really, because you either want to know or you don't, and I figure it's better just to show y'all when I get the thing done instead of like, here's what I'm planning to do. The reason I say all this is now I have to find a place, I have to bump a gun off my gun list because I made a 13 gun list to round out my current numbers for the safe I have plus the stuff my wife has, and it's a collection that's going to, give me the best shooting experience out of the pistols that I have. So, and rifles and shotguns. So now I have to figure out what gun I'm going to take off my list currently to put an M9A3 on, and my buddy just sent me a video for the 92X, and that thing is like the Beretta I've always wanted. So I'm going to be purchasing 2 Berettas, Jesse. But overall, I am blown away with the M9A3. I'm going to go rent it again, and for some of you that know, I have if you rent it 3 times, you got to buy it rule. So this is going to be my second time renting the Beretta. I'm going to bring this back and the Legion, and I'm going to shoot them side by side. Yeah. But I just want to do a longer video, and I'm going to bring this camera next time so I can get some nice third-person footage for the M9A3, and I'm probably going to put more rounds through it, to be honest, but I just can't believe how good that gun is. And I'm not inexperienced with Berettas. I know the civilian Berettas are much nicer than the military Berettas. I really wish the M9A3 came out before the pistol trials so we could just have the M9A3 instead of the P320s. I am not looking forward to the P320s. I'm not excited about it one bit. And I think if we had Beretta M9A3s, I'd be a lot happier and a lot more confident. But all in all, I'm absolutely blown away by the M9A3. You're going to see more of that, and I'm going to buy one. So, super excited. This thing is also a boss. I love this pistol. It is a great shooting gun. I got to get more mags for it. And it's going to get a 9M to go on there. So I'm super pumped for that. Got some decent shooting footage. The GoPro got knocked, and I didn't realize the alignment was off. So it's very, very lower 1/3, which is not what I wanted, but hopefully you can suffer through the shooting footage. But the reason I'm putting this video out, because I know I'm going out again, I could just very well film the thing again and you'd be none the wiser, but I wanted to share these experiences both on the Omega 9K and the Tirant and the Beretta M9A3 on top of that, because it completely took me by surprise. So much so I'm still thinking about the gun, and that's the same thing that happened to me with the Legion. So I'm not sure where this is going to take us, but M9A3, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take care of each other, stay safe, and support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.